to the CDC, there are more than 61 million Americans who suffer from disabilities. These disabilities can include trouble hearing, vision loss, mobility issues, and difficulty with cognition. Today we're going to focus on how baseball, basketball, and football facilities best cater to these people. It is important that all sports fans are given a memorable experience, no matter if they have a disability or not.
One important aspect of running a sports facility is making sure it is accessible to everyone, including those with disabilities. The American Disabilities Act of 1990 has provided extra support for those with disabilities to enjoy their everyday lives, including going to sporting events. ADA has also given guidelines to sports facilities to create a facility for those with disabilities to enjoy an event as well.
It is pertinent that stadiums adhere to ADA guidelines for people with physical disabilities. All stadiums are required to have at least 1% of seating to be wheelchair seating. Additionally, each wheelchair seat must have a companion seat. Yankee Stadium has smooth terrace floors, which make it easy to get around with a wheelchair. Unfortunately, there are no wheelchairs or wheelchair escorts provided at Yankee Stadium. Parking can be a struggle for people with physical disabilities and people in wheelchairs. That is why it is important to make sure that there are an adequate number of handicapped parking spots and easy accessibility into the stadium. Dodger Stadium does a great job with this, but the older stadiums like Fenway Park and Wrigley Field provide challenges for people in wheelchairs because of the limited number of parking spots and limited accessibility points. Accessibility has become an increasingly popular topic talked about in sports circles. Baseball stadiums must adhere to specific ADA guidelines. For people who suffer with visual impairments, there have been practices put into place to make sure they enjoy the game to the same capacity that a person without impairments does. Yankee Stadium, for example, includes braille on each of its concession counters so people can read the menu. A blind attendee of a St. Louis Cardinals game said that Busch Stadium made sure to use audio cues, music, and sounds to signal the next inning when a specific batter was up or when a player scored a run. Providing accessibility features for those who are deaf is important too. One of the ADA guidelines is for there to be visual alarms and stimulus for deaf people in case of an emergency. Yankee Stadium has open caption boards in left, right, and center field for those who can't hear. In a recent article written, it was determined that the 5 best stadiums for hearing loss is Coors Field, Petco Park, Yankee Stadium, AT&T Park, and Busch Stadium. All these stadiums offer assisted hearing devices such as ear speakers, stereo sets, and head loops.
Hi everybody, my name is Victoria and I will be talking about ADA guidelines within the NBA. As you can see, this is Liberty's basketball arena and we have a wheelchair ramp and seating around the top of the stadium to include ADA accommodations so people can enjoy the game. The NBA has a specific set of guidelines that include making the correct size bathrooms, accommodating space at the ticket booth, wheelchair assistant, and where all of this information can be found. For example, the Oklahoma City Thunder has a couple ADA accommodations. They provide a space at Section 112 for fans who need a calm, quiet atmosphere related to sensory issues, and they also have designed kits to mitigate sensory overload that some may experience throughout the Thunder game nights. In this next video clip, here's a better example of some of the seating above the arena, so if you're in a wheelchair, you can sit at these. Alright, as you can see, I'm in our lovely Liberty University basketball arena, which we do accommodate most ADA things, just not all of them. Unfortunately, not a lot of our basketball arenas currently offer ADA accommodations or needs for people, but according to CNBC, the future of facilities is going to change and change drastically in a great direction. Both the NFL and the NBA are investing billions into stadiums to renovate and fix old stadiums to adhere by ADA guidelines. Both the NFL and the NBA want to make these changes to create an atmosphere for any sports fan so they are able to come and enjoy a game like any other person would be able to, which is great news, and it's going to take a lot of time and money, but I'm excited that they're eventually going to get there so anybody has the chance to come and watch one of these games.
Football has a set of rules that they also follow with ADA guidelines. There are examples of stadiums succeeding at this while other stadiums fail at this. One example of failure to follow ADA guidelines was Richardson's Independent School District did not comply with the American Disabilities Act, as a woman by the name of Leslie Greer was left sitting in a paved area across from the stadium because her son's football team played in a stadium with no ADA accommodations. This example is the perfect reason of why ADA requirements are so important to provide accessibility for everybody to enjoy an event. Holly South wrote an article with fine law about ADA requirements within stadiums. Some ADA requirements for a stadium is providing wheelchair accessibility. These requirements include having seats available at all levels and price points, ramps or elevators to have access to restrooms and parking lots, and companion seating to provide with each wheelchair seat. Some other requirements in stadiums include must being able to provide auditory assistance and visual alarms for those who are hard of hearing or deaf. Braille must also be included with signage and make sure that the signs are visible and clear to all attendees. When facilities fail to follow ADA regulations, then they have an increased risk of having lawsuits placed against them. These fines can be $75,000 for the first offense and $150,000 for following offenses after the first offense. Having these lawsuits placed against them can also look negatively for each facility with lawsuits placed against them. Williams Stadium at Liberty University provides reserved handicap seating on the east and west side of the stadium, which one can sit in by obtaining a physically assigned ticket. When it comes to parking, Liberty provides ADA accessible parking in multiple parking lots, where shuttles will provide rides to the stadium. Shuttles begin 3 hours prior to kickoff, and there are also companion seats placed within handicap seating to provide companions a seat as well. Elevators are also provided to gain access to all levels of seating throughout the stadium.
In conclusion, the American Disabilities Act was passed to promote opportunity for everyone and so that they could be included in events, for example, a sporting event. It is important to recognize the ADA within a sports facility so everyone has the opportunity to come watch their favorite team play. As I mentioned earlier, it'll be really interesting to see the changes that the NFL and the NBA are going to make, and it seems like they're moving in the right direction when it comes to ADA guidelines. So can't wait to see the changes they make, and thank you for watching our project.